The Riches of Wisdom, a Journey of Faith and Finance. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world, yet lose his soul? This age-old question invites us to reflect deeply on the meaning of true success. Today we'll explore an inspiring story of a man who seemingly had it all, but uncovered an unexpected truth, not in his wealth but in something much greater. This is the story of James Daniels, a man of ambition, drive, and determination, who learned the ultimate value of wisdom, faith, and relationships. As you join us on this journey, we encourage you to think about your own life. How do you define success? What are you truly working toward? By the end of this video, you'll discover principles that can transform not just your perspective on wealth, but your entire approach to life. Let's dive into James's story and uncover how faith and wisdom turned his life around. James Daniels grew up in a modest home where money was always tight. His family struggled daily to make ends meet, and the pressure often led to tension and stress in the household. James promised himself from an early age that he would escape the cycle of poverty. He believed that financial freedom was the key to ultimate happiness and security. Motivated by this belief, James worked hard through school, taking on odd jobs to save money and build experience. His vision was clear. He would build a life of abundance. For years, he carried this dream in his heart as he taught himself about business, investments, and wealth. Armed with ambition and determination, James began climbing the ladder of success. By his late 20s, he had launched his own business. His relentless hard work and focus soon paid off. By the time James turned 35, he was a thriving entrepreneur with multiple properties, luxury cars, and a lifestyle most would envy. Success, at least by society's standards, had arrived. James was proud of what he had accomplished. Yet despite the external signs of wealth and achievement, something was missing. James's day-to-day life revolved around maintaining his image and continuing to grow his fortune. He attended glamorous events, enjoyed expensive vacations, and surrounded himself with the symbols of luxury. Yet behind closed doors, his personal life told a starkly different story. Relationships with his loved ones suffered due to his demanding schedule. He hardly saw his family and friends, and when he did, the conversations felt strained. He pushed aside his feelings of dissatisfaction, convincing himself that an even bigger business deal or another acquisition would ease the unease. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. Despite his material wealth, James couldn't escape the nagging void inside him. At night, he lay awake reflecting on his life. He had homes but felt homeless. He had success but felt unfulfilled. What if he lost it all? The fear consumed him. James's inner struggles started to take a toll on his mental health, and moments of joy grew fleeting and rare. The life he had built, while grand in appearance, seemed increasingly fragile. Even as friends praised him for his accomplishments, James began to wonder, is this really all there is? One particularly challenging day, James faced a business setback that shook him. A failed investment wiped out millions from his portfolio, leaving him reeling. For the first time in years, he felt powerless and vulnerable. When consulting a trusted mentor about his fears, he was met with an unexpected response. "James," the mentor said, "you've been chasing the wrong kind of riches all along. Wealth means nothing if your soul is empty and your peace is gone." This conversation marked a defining moment for James. It wasn't about the loss of money. It was about rediscovering what really mattered in life. For the first time, James began searching for answers outside of material success. He started reading books on purpose, listening to uplifting messages, and seeking wisdom from others who had walked similar journeys. During this process, James encountered teachings of faith that spoke directly to his heart. These concepts were simple yet profound. Life is more than possessions. Wealth is a tool for good, and peace comes from an inner relationship with God, not external circumstances. James began to realize just how misplaced his priorities had been. In his relentless pursuit of wealth, he had neglected the things and people that mattered most: his family, his community, and his own well-being. He saw how his obsession with financial success had driven a wedge between him and the things that brought true joy. This was a humbling realization, but it was also freeing. James knew it was time to let go of his old mindset and embrace a new way of living. Faith became the cornerstone of James's transformation. Through prayer and introspection, he began aligning his values with principles of higher purpose. He learned that material possessions are temporary, but the lessons gained through wisdom and faith are eternal. Faith taught James the power of stewardship, to view his wealth not as something to hoard, but as a resource to share and invest in the betterment of others. With his perspective shifted, James redefined the meaning of wealth. True wealth came not from a bank account but from nurturing relationships, experiencing inner peace, and making a meaningful impact in the lives of others. Suddenly, the size of his business or the value of his properties no longer dictated his sense of success. Instead, he found fulfillment in the intangible riches of faith, wisdom, and purpose. James made a commitment to repair the relationships that had suffered during his climb to the top. He reached out to his family, sincerely apologizing for his absence and seeking to rebuild trust. He spent more quality time with his loved ones, listening and connecting in ways he hadn't before. Through faith, James learned the value of love, forgiveness, and presence. These moments not only healed the wounds in his relationships, but also brought new joy and depth into his life. A major transformation for James was overcoming the fear of losing everything. Through faith, he realized that his identity and worth were not tied to his material possessions. He understood that regardless of life's ups and downs, his foundation in faith would remain unshaken. This newfound peace allowed James to live without anxiety about the future, fully present in each moment. James began practicing financial stewardship, guided by his faith-based values. He adopted a more balanced approach to his wealth, using it responsibly and sharing it generously. Instead of accumulating more for himself, James redirected his resources to causes close to his heart, supporting charitable organizations and helping those in need. James found immense joy in giving back. Whether it was providing scholarships for underprivileged kids or volunteering to build homes for struggling families, these acts of generosity gave his life a renewed sense of meaning. He realized that when he served others, he experienced a richness far greater than any material possession could offer. James's journey taught him the distinction between inner peace and external success. The peace he now felt came not from what he owned, but from learning to live with intentionality and gratitude. This peace was a direct result of prioritizing faith and aligning his life with his values. For the first time in years, James felt whole. Of all the lessons James learned, the greatest was that wisdom is the ultimate form of wealth. Wisdom enabled him to approach life with clarity, make better decisions, and live purposefully. By choosing wisdom over material gains, James gained far more than he ever imagined. James didn't view his transformation as a one-time event. Instead, he committed to continuous growth by practicing daily habits such as prayer, meditation, and reflection. These practices helped him strengthen his faith and stay grounded, no matter the challenges that came his way. James developed a healthier relationship with money. He put an end to lavish spending and learned to manage his finances with discipline and gratitude, guided by principles rooted in faith. This shift brought him greater contentment and freedom. James's ultimate goal changed from building financial empire to leaving a legacy of faith, values, and impact. He wanted his life to be remembered, not for what he owned, but for how he loved, gave, and inspired others. Letting go of materialism was one of James's most liberating steps. No longer bound by the need for status or validation, he embraced a simpler, more authentic way of living. James made gratitude a daily habit. Through faith, he learned to recognize and celebrate the blessings in his life, big and small. This practice multiplied his sense of joy and fulfillment. James's journey is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to realign your life with purpose. No matter how far you've strayed in the pursuit of worldly possessions, redemption is always within reach. Now it's your turn. Take a moment and ask yourself, are you chasing the right kind of riches? Where are your priorities leading you? It's never too late to change course and embrace a faith-centered, purpose-driven life. We challenge you to reflect on your own journey and take steps toward balancing your faith, relationships, and financial goals. Begin today by identifying areas where you can prioritize what truly matters. Remember, true wealth is found not in what we own, but in wisdom, love, and faith. Will you begin your own journey toward the riches of wisdom today? The choice is yours, and the rewards are eternal.